of the San Francisco Division of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. To my left is Simon O'Connell, the Chief Assistant District Attorney for Contra Costa County. Today we are unsealing 4 separate indictments. They allege crimes committed by current and former police officers of the Antioch and Pittsburg police departments. The charges are wide-ranging. They include conspiracy to violate civil rights, conspiracy to violate wire fraud, conspiracy to distribute anabolic steroids, wire fraud, numerous civil rights violations, destruction, alteration, and falsification of records in federal investigations, and obstruction of justice. Before I further describe the charges, I want to emphasize that every defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. The allegations in the indictments are just that, allegations. No defendant is charged with all the conduct in all the indictments. And the defendants all are entitled to a presumption of innocence regarding each charge. The crimes alleged in the 4 indictments are organized in this chart. The first indictment charges 6 defendants. I will refer to it as the college degree benefits fraud indictment. The indictment describes how several defendants conspired to defraud police departments, including the Antioch and Pittsburg police departments. The officers claimed that they had earned college credits towards degrees, when in fact they hired people to attend classes and take exams for them. The police department's policies permitted reimbursement of the tuition cost and awarded salary raises to officers who earned college degrees. These defendants conspired to defraud their police departments and to reap the financial benefits of earning college degrees without putting in the work or obtaining the knowledge that comes from real educational achievement. The second indictment charges 2 defendants with conspiring to distribute anabolic steroids. The indictment describes how the defendants agreed to illegally obtain and distribute the drugs. It also describes how one of the 2 defendants allegedly destroyed evidence of the illegal conspiracy. The third indictment charges a single defendant. I will refer to it as the obstruction indictment. As alleged in this indictment, a police officer destroyed, altered, and falsified records in an effort to obstruct a federal investigation. Specifically, the indictment describes how the police officer was assigned to monitor a wiretap, how he used his own personal phone to call a target of the wiretap, and how he then prevented that call from being recorded during the wiretap. The officer then falsified records related to his call. The defendant is also charged with a civil rights violation in which he allegedly confiscated a citizen's phone and damaged it to prevent the retrieval of relevant evidence. The fourth indictment is the deprivation of rights indictment. This 29-page indictment describes a disturbing litany of civil rights violations by 3 officers of the Antioch Police Department. The alleged crimes include the improper deployment of a canine as well as weapons in order to harm individuals in and around Antioch. The indictment describes how defendants boasted about their illegal uses of force in text messages between one another. The defendants also allegedly shared photos of their victims' injuries and even collected, as mementos, spent ammunition from their attacks on the people of Antioch. Collectively, these 4 indictments describe a group of officers who acted as though they were above the law. The officers had no interest in de-escalation or other proper law enforcement tactics to avoid violence. And they had tried to escape scrutiny by, among other things, failing to submit truthful reports and by refusing to properly wear and use their body-worn cameras. Police officers take an oath. The oath is a solemn promise to defend and follow the Constitution of the United States, as well as federal and state laws. Police officers promise both to enforce laws to protect the public and to protect the rights of the accused. That's the job. The indictments unsealed today paint a picture of officers who have violated that oath. When this happens, the damage done to the public trust cannot easily be calculated. This office, however, will not rest until all persons who engage in this sort of behavior are apprehended and prosecuted. The defendants in all 4 cases have been arrested, and a schedule for court appearances is now being worked out. I want to thank Special Agent in Charge Tripp and the Office of the Contra Costa District Attorney, including District Attorney Diana Beckton and Chief Assistant Simon O'Connell, for devoting the resources and the hard work necessary to ensure these charges could be brought, as well as the other hardworking individuals in our office who you also see today, who are the AUSAs who put in the groundwork on this case. We'll now hear a few words from Special Agent in Charge Robert Tripp. Bob?
Thank you very much, United States Attorney Ramsey, and thank you all for joining us here this afternoon. My name is Robert Tripp. I am the Special Agent in charge of the FBI San Francisco Field Office. This morning, the FBI arrested 9 subjects identified in the indictments referenced by United States Attorney Ramsey. All of these individuals were previously or are currently associated with either the Pittsburgh Police Department or the Antioch Police Department. None of those arrested were actively engaged in law enforcement, although 3 were current employees of local departments who had been placed on administrative leave. The arrest warrants were served today across the Bay Area, as well as in Hawaii and Texas. More than 100 FBI personnel participated. They were drawn from our San Francisco, our Sacramento, our Los Angeles, our Dallas, and our Honolulu field offices. These arrests are the culmination of more than 2 years of painstaking and methodical investigative work by the FBI, by the United States Attorney's Office, and by the Contra Costa District Attorney's Office. The FBI treated these arrests like any other operation. We used the same processes to assess risk, and we used the same techniques to mitigate that risk. Tactical assets such as SWAT teams, our crisis negotiators, and our surveillance teams supported the operations this morning. This case has been one of the San Francisco Field Office's highest priorities for many months. Law enforcement officers are sworn for a reason. We bear a tremendous responsibility to police our communities lawfully and in keeping with the Constitution, and we must always be true to that oath. Now, we use the term color of law as a shorthand for the idea of using one's official position to deprive someone of their lawful constitutional rights. Color of law violations strike at the very heart of our justice system. They undermine public confidence in the law and law enforcement and erode the fundamental rights of our citizens. Let me be clear. Color of law violations will not be tolerated. Not all of the charges referenced by United States Attorney Ramsey involved color of law issues, but those other charges are also very important. They are, in fact, violations of federal criminal statutes committed by sworn officers dedicated to upholding the law, and the citizens of our community deserve law enforcement personnel who practice what they enforce. Any breach of the public's trust is absolutely unacceptable. The operations today make clear that no one is above the law. The FBI and our partners are absolutely committed to protecting the civil rights of members of our communities. We will continue to hold accountable those who break the law. I want to extend my sincere appreciation to the FBI personnel here and across the Bureau that made the operations today possible. I'd like to also extend my thanks to the Contra Costa District Attorney's Office, who have worked tirelessly to bring about the results today. And of course, I want to thank the United States Attorney's Office, whose dedication and unwavering commitment to bringing justice led to these charges being brought forward today.
With that, if anyone has any questions, if you could tell us your name and your outlet.
Yeah, Chris Sancarlo, KCBS. There were named and unnamed people in each of these indictments. Also, we have, I think, 45 officers who are on leave. Could we expect to see more indictments coming down? And is this investigation continuing?
I can tell you that the investigation is still continuing.
Another question?
J.R. Stone with ABC7. So within these 4 indictments, how many officers are we talking about, and how many charges total within all of those officers?
The chart here outlines the charges against the officers. I believe there are 10 officers total.
Are we expecting, Jacob Rogers, Mercury News, Eastern Times, are we expecting any further, maybe state charges as well out of this? And can you also reflect on, what does it say about the state of policing in East Contra Costa County, given a lot of the allegations that are being
There are 2 questions. So your first question was, can we expect any state charges? Obviously, we're here to comment on our federal charges. We obviously had participation by the Contra Costa County DA's office, and we appreciate that partnership. Like I said, the investigation on the federal side is continuing. And your second question was, what does this say about the state of policing? Really just to comment only on the charges against these officers in indictment. Obviously, there's allegations of wide-ranging civil rights violations, as well as other offenses, including wire fraud with respect to the college credit scam and distribution of steroids.
Olga Rodriguez with the Associated Press. Can you talk about how this investigation began and just what's happened over 2 years to get us here today?
I don't want to talk about the specifics, of the investigation. I can obviously tell there's been months of hard work put into this by various agencies, and appreciate the partnership of Contra Costa District Attorney's Office as well as the FBI who do that hard work. Obviously, we think these are important cases to bring, and we now are at the point where we have indictments that have been returned and individual officers in custody charged with a wide range of civil rights violations and other charges, including wire fraud and distribution of steroids.
I'm told more of these officers will be in court tomorrow. Where will they be in court tomorrow? And are these officers all still behind bars?
This case is venued in Oakland. I know there have been numerous hearings.
All right, it appears their signal may have gone out, but again, that is a news conference that is now underway, as we have learned that several of the California officers there in Antioch and over in Pittsburgh there, both, as I mentioned, in California, have been indicted as part of a civil rights probe. I do want to go over some of the basics of what we know about the case here. The U.S. Attorney's Office in San Francisco and the FBI holding that joint news conference right there, where they did announce the arrest of Antioch and Pittsburgh police officers for civil rights violations. Antioch Mayor Lamar Thorpe confirmed earlier on today to our Fox 2 San Francisco team that multiple officers were arrested by the FBI this morning in a civil rights